The clock strikes midnight. Fireworks paint the sky in brilliant colors, a symphony of celebration. But for some, the most deafening sound is the silence sitting right next to them. Why does your happiness feel like a threat to the person who claims to love you? This is the story of how a day meant for joy can become a stage for a narcissist's most destructive performance. New Year's Eve, like birthdays and other holidays, isn't just a date on the calendar. It's a symbol of hope, reflection, and shared happiness. And for a narcissist, shared happiness is a concept they simply cannot tolerate. It's not about you, and that's the problem. The spotlight of the celebration shines on the collective, on the joy of the many, and not exclusively on them. This triggers a deep-seated envy, a core component of narcissistic personality disorder. They see your genuine excitement not as something to share, but as a direct challenge to their own sense of superiority and control. Your joy highlights what they lack internally, the capacity for authentic connection and contentment. So, to reestablish their dominance, they must extinguish your light. This isn't just a bad mood. It's a strategic operation designed to hijack the holiday and make it all about them. The sabotage often begins days, or even hours, before the main event. It's a calculated campaign of psychological warfare. It might start with subtle digs disguised as jokes, criticizing your outfit, your friends, or your plans for the evening. The goal is to plant seeds of doubt and insecurity, slowly chipping away at your festive spirit. Then comes the classic pre-party argument. Out of nowhere, a minor disagreement escalates into a major conflict. They might bring up old grievances, twist your words, or accuse you of things you never did. The timing is deliberate. They want to drain your emotional energy, ensuring you arrive at the party, if you get there at all, feeling anxious, exhausted, and preoccupied. You're walking on eggshells, unable to relax and enjoy the moment because you're braced for the next attack. This manufactured chaos ensures that their emotional state dictates the atmosphere, pulling the focus back where they need it to be, squarely on them. Another common tactic is the infamous disappearing act. You've both planned to attend a party. You're getting ready, maybe even feeling a flicker of hope that this time will be different. And then they vanish. They might suddenly decide they're too tired to go, or they lines pick a fight and storm out of the house just minutes before you're supposed to leave. Or perhaps they agree to go, but once you arrive, they disappear into the crowd, leaving you to awkwardly explain their absence. This move is a master class in passive-aggressive control. It isolates you, making you feel abandoned and foolish. It forces you to choose between going alone and feeling self-conscious, or staying home and surrendering your night of fun. Either way, they win. They've successfully spoiled your plans without having to be the obvious villain. They control the narrative, and you're left holding the pieces of a ruined evening. Then there's the ultimate attention-seeking maneuver, playing the victim card. Just as the countdown begins, or during a moment of peak celebration, they manufacture a crisis. It could be a sudden, mysterious illness that requires your immediate and undivided attention. A headache so severe they need to lie down in a dark room, or a wave of anxiety so profound you have to leave the party immediately to take care of them. It might be a dramatic, tearful confession about some deep-seated insecurity, perfectly timed to make everyone else's joy feel inappropriate. This tactic is incredibly effective because it frames them as the one in need of sympathy. They hijack the spotlight not with anger, but with feigned vulnerability. Responding with anything other than complete devotion makes you look like the uncaring, selfish one. You're trapped. You're forced to abandon your own happiness to cater to their manufactured pain, turning the night of celebration into a night of caretaking. The day after, as you're grappling with disappointment and confusion, the final act begins, post-holiday gaslighting. When you try to talk about what happened, they will deny, deflect, and rewrite history. The fight they started, you were the one who was being desensitive, their sudden disappearance. They'll claim they told you they weren't feeling well and you just weren't listening, the manufactured crisis. They'll accuse you of being unsupportive and selfish for even questioning their pain. They will methodically dismantle your reality, making you doubt your own perceptions and memories. You might hear phrases like, "You're exaggerating, that's not how it happened," or "the ultimate weapon. You're ruining the memory of the holiday by being so negative." This is gaslighting. It's a form of psychological abuse designed to make you question your sanity. Over time, it erodes your self-trust, leading to what is known as trauma bonding, where you feel a misguided sense of loyalty to the very person causing you harm. You start to believe their version of events, accepting the blame for their destructive behavior. If this cycle feels painfully familiar, please know you are not alone and you are not imagining it. Recognizing these patterns is the first, powerful step toward breaking free. One effective tool for dealing with a narcissist, especially when you can't leave the situation immediately, is the gray rock method. This involves making yourself as boring and unresponsive as a gray rock. You don't share your joys or your sorrows. You give short, factual answers and refuse to engage in their dramatic provocations. When they can't get an emotional reaction from you, they lose their power. They are starved of the narcissistic supply they crave and may eventually lose interest in provoking you. It's not about being cold or unkind. It's a strategy for self-preservation. It's about protecting your inner peace from their constant attempts to disrupt it. Healing from narcissistic abuse is a journey, not a destination. It involves rebuilding the self-trust that was systematically dismantled. Start by validating your own experiences. Journaling can be a powerful tool to document events as they happen, creating a record of your reality that can't be gaslit away. Reconnect with supportive friends and family who affirm your worth and perception of reality. Most importantly, consider seeking professional help from a therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse. They can provide you with the tools and support needed to understand the trauma, set firm boundaries, and begin the process of healing. Remember, their inability to feel joy does not have to extinguish yours. Your happiness is not a threat, it is your birthright. It's time to reclaim your celebrations, your peace, and your life. You deserve a new year filled not with fear and anxiety, but with genuine hope, authentic joy, and the promise of a brighter, healthier future. If you are struggling, please know that help is available. Reaching out is a sign of strength. Thanks for watching.